Back to our top story that we continue to follow up on at this hour, and of course that's the raid by the head of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, George Kinoti, and he conducted an inspection of an alcohol production and distribution center in Thika town. Now, the Africa Spirit was believed to have produced fake Kenya Revenue Authority stamps in order to avoid paying taxes. The company was last week raided by officers from the DCI after it emerged that it was also using what government officials say is a lethal amount of ethanol used to produce the drinks. And of course, earlier on we spoke to our reporter Timothy Otieno, who's covering this crackdown for us, and said for the DCI to make way there after the raid last week, it is because they're doing rounds in each and every of the warehouses that are in that very farm. That's Africa Spirit that produces and distributes alcohol. So our Timothy Otieno will be speaking to us. He's preparing once again to go to another warehouse. Earlier on when he spoke, he showed us some of the machinery that the detectives on the ground are suspecting were being used to make these KRA certificates, these fake KRA certificates that the company has been using to avoid paying taxes. So he's going to another warehouse. Let's just see what they discover in this warehouse, what they have been able to get. Timothy has been on this bit since morning. Remember, the head of DCI, George Kinoti, has been on this inspection since morning. He is still there. He is still doing the rounds. Let's speak to Timothy once again. Timothy, I understand we are now taking a look at another warehouse. What have we been able to discover?
Yes, Akisa, we were actually on our way to the warehouse where the production of the alcoholic drinks was being done, but we've just been briefly stopped by the investigators from accessing that particular warehouse because they tell us that the Inspector General of Police, Joseph Boynet, is on his way and could be arriving to this particular facility any minute from now. So we've been advised to keep clear of the warehouse for just a few minutes so that his motorcade can pass, and then we can then go inside. But nonetheless, Akisa, it appears the Director of Criminal Investigations, George Kinoti, is still speaking to a few of the officials of this particular business. Earlier on, he had been questioning the analogy of how fake stamps can be in distribution, both fake stamps from the Kenya that is tasked with inspecting some of these facilities before whatever product they are producing is distributed then to the public. So it's a matter that is being taken with the seriousness perhaps that it deserves. Remember, Akisa, this country has had various spats of unfortunate deaths led to the consumption of illicit liquor, deaths that have even prompted the head of state himself to not once but twice lead a nationwide campaign, the most recent one being in last year, March, when that particular exercise took place for about 4 months, spearheaded by the Interior Cabinet Secretary Joseph Boynet. So I'm being informed right now that perhaps the Inspector General of Police has arrived at this particular facility, so we can see if we'll be able to perhaps maybe walk to where he is and try and see if we can get a statement from him. So please bear with us if maybe the images are a bit shaky. Let's just see if we can make our way. All right, there he is. He's there you go. That's the Inspector General of Police and his team, as well as the team from the DCI, heading into the waiting area of this particular reception for the African Spirits Limited. So if my colleague Dan could just come and see if we can just follow me, Dan. It's okay. See if you can be able to talk to them. Could you speak to the Inspector General kindly?
Not now.
All right. So, of course, he first has to be briefed, and then maybe he'll be able to talk to us, and we find a way forward. So far, 3 people arrested. The warehouse has been closed for more than a week, and all its staff members advised to stay at home until this matter is probed further. Akisa.
Timothy, thank you for that. As he says, we are awaiting to see whether the DCI boss will say something about that particular crackdown, what they have been able to discover so far, whether there are some people who have been apprehended. So Timothy will be giving us details in the other bulletins that we have lined up. For now, we wrap it up on KT.